We had a mild winter.
All right, it's 11:31, and I think we'll get started.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody. Contemporary Staffing Solutions thanks you for joining us. I'm Sharon Sal, CMO, and welcome to our second meditation session with Nancy Boudre. I read an article the other day that referenced David Kessler. The article talked about emotional intelligence, and it really was very pointed about how are you feeling? Why is this mask so uncomfortable? Why are we laughing less? There's a loss of normalcy, a fear of economic toll, a loss of connection. What is the discomfort we're feeling? David Kessler is a subject matter expert, and he is saying that we're all feeling grief. Traditionally, there's many stages of loss: denial, anger, depression, but now there's a new, and then acceptance, but now there's a new stage, and he is calling it meaning and purpose. When there is grief, we feel physical pain and the mind races. Let's meditate and shift our racing minds and allow Nancy the chance to influence our breathing and our thoughts. Nancy Boudre is the CEO and founder of Awaken with Light. This is a free series of webinars offered to all CSS employees and clients because your mental health is our #1 priority. Thank you for helping us, Nancy. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Oh, that was beautiful, Sharon, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's begin now with just a few moments here, closing the eyes or resting for a soft gaze, staring out at a window or a spot on the wall. And just connect to the flow of your breath, this beautiful gift of the breath that breathes you. You don't have to think to take a breath. You breathe. We're going to practice something called the 4-point breath. Listen, and then we'll implement. Begin by taking a deep, slow breath in, paying attention to the feeling of your breath, and notice how the lungs feel when they're full, right before the exhale. And then bring your awareness to the physical experience of the whole exhale. Gently noting what it feels like when the breath is empty right before the inhale. Find your natural rhythm and just connect to this delicious breath. We'll begin. And each time you notice your mind drift to other thoughts, remember you haven't failed. Just gently bring your awareness back to breath. That is a moment of mindfulness. The mind is designed to think. You're just choosing the thought right now to be on breath. Full conscious awareness of the breath. You might notice now the intricacies of your breath. But over time, let it go, the specific points of this breath, and stay finely tuned to just observing the breath, like waves crashing and receding over and over. Gently noting how the body feels in this present moment. Gently note how the breath feels. What emotions and thoughts are passing through. Simply observing. In a few minutes, I'll prompt you to open the eyes. Greet this room, your surroundings, with fresh eyes, a fresh perspective, fully present, here and now, in this moment. When you open the eyes, just choose a focal point and expand your vision from there. If your gaze is soft, just raise the gaze and take in more. So today, we're building the foundation of our mindful practice, living mindfully aware, using mindful meditation as our vehicle. Mindfulness teaches you to live more consciously, paying attention on purpose. And attention is about taking notice, being aware of what's happening while it's happening. We pay attention to external experiences with our sight, our sounds, the sounds we hear, smells, taste, and touch. You might see the sight of my face on your screen, the sound of voices in the other room, the smell of freshly baked pie, but also the sensations in the body, in our shoulders, for instance, if you carry stress there. Just gently, mindfulness teaches us to tune in not only to the external, but our internal world as well. Consciously focusing on your internal experiences, such as your thoughts and emotions, without being swept away by them, as best you can. This is mindfulness. Thoughts like, I can't be bothered to do that task, it's not my job. Why is that woman shouting? Or emotions like boredom, frustration, excitement. To notice the internal experiences rather than unconsciously having them. This is mindfulness. This little separation between you and your thoughts and emotions is key. Your thoughts are running commentary on the world. I'll call it the best case scenario of what you think is truly happening. And oftentimes our thoughts will reflect the powerful emotional current swirling through our mind, body, and breath. And sometimes these thoughts are true, and other times they're flat out wrong or works in progress. Mindfulness teaches us to step back and view the total picture in broader context. For instance, you imagine you're on a business trip From Chicago to Philly, you wake up the next morning and you're ready to fly home to Philadelphia. And you check the weather and you discover there's 12 inches of snow falling. And the report says there's some flights are canceled and some are delayed. And your mind immediately says, oh no, my flight's going to be canceled. I was really looking forward to being with my family over the weekend. Why does this always happen to me? This is so annoying. Will I be able to get a hotel for the night? Now consider this same scenario. You wake up, you get ready to fly home. You check the weather, 12 inches of snow. Some flights are going to be canceled, some are going to be delayed. And you see your mind go, oh no, my flight's going to be canceled. You actually take note of the particular thought. You allow it to be. You know that how much or how little you worry about it won't make a difference. You recognize it's a prediction, not a fact. You sit back, you drink your cup of coffee or tea, you be with it. This is one example of mindfulness in action. Being aware of your thoughts, you're able to take action rather than allow your mind to run away with itself. Mindfulness is not just paying attention. We want to cultivate attitudes of acceptance, curiosity, self-compassion, and openness. We'll explore each of these as the series progresses. And as we are sitting here in this stillness space, let us now cultivate a sense of conscious awareness so we can begin to explore our inner world and gently note the attitudes and what we infuse each moment of thought with. But do it with love and compassion for yourself. We are wired negative. They call it negativity bias. And we'll infuse negativity and self-criticism on a dime. But be gentle with yourself. Mindfulness is bringing attention to that. There's mindful meditation and there's living mindfully aware. We use mindful meditation to help practice these techniques so we build mindful muscle, focusing on the breath and the body. And meditation is the most powerful tool to enhance your brain's ability to be more mindful. And if you're not a person who likes to sit down and meditate, you don't have to. You can practice it walking, running, cooking, gardening. It's taking time off your daily task of analyzing and problem solving and giving it something else to do. Everyday mindfulness is living in a mindful way. And each time you do an activity that you intentionally give your attention to with openness and curiosity, so you can see it's much more than meditation. You can choose times to practice mindful meditation, and you can live mindfully aware. Mindfully aware of when you have those stress moments and how you can alter the power of your emotions and your thoughts. So let's drop in now and foster our open awareness so we can be curious about what our own individual stressors are for this week. Not so much fixated on lowering our stressors at this point, but being mindfully aware of what they are. Now, closing the eyes or resting the eyes at that soft gaze now. Bringing yourself back in. Gently note the sounds in your environment. Maybe even the music that I'm playing here. Become aware of the sounds entering your ears and allow the sounds to be registered just as they are. You don't have to purposely identify the sound. Just listen to the quality of the sound itself. And you may notice emotions if a sound is not what you consider pleasant. Gently take note, no judgment, just curiosity and openness. Now move your attention to the sensations within your body. You don't need to find them pleasant or unpleasant or strong. Whatever sensation you notice in the body is absolutely fine. And then gently see if you can experience the sensations in your body in its entirety. It's like a gentle body scan. All this holds wisdom as you observe. And if the mind wanders, just bring it back. And when you're ready, shift your attention to your emotions now, if that's okay with you. And become aware of how you're feeling right here, right now. Does the feeling stay the same or change from breath to breath? And can you notice where the emotions rest in your body? Love and compassion on self now. And finally, become aware of your thoughts. What thoughts are arising in your mind in this moment? What are you thinking? Just notice the thoughts passing by, like clouds that float across the sky. And if you get caught up in a train of thought, that's a-okay. Try to step back and just view it as passing clouds. All this holds wisdom. You don't want to judge yourself or criticize yourself. You are the observer of self. Witnessing yourself like you're watching a movie. Allow breath to move through you. Encouraging this moment in time, a feeling of calm that you cultivate for self, where you lovingly respond to self, what you need in this present moment. Taking it all in, but attached to nothing. What's going on in my body, where my emotions are, my thoughts, accepting everything as it is. And just seeing if you can plant the seed of calmness, of clarity, and connection. Now let go of focusing your attention on anything in particular. And just notice whatever is predominant in your awareness without making any choices. Practice choiceless awareness. You may be noticing a sensation in the body, a thought, a sound outside. Just step back and observe your moment by moment experience. You don't need to do this perfectly. Whatever happens is absolutely fine. There is no mastery. And as we bring this exercise to a close, by taking a couple of few nice deep breaths. Feel your body. Notice your surroundings. With the eyes closed still, and then gently open the eyes. Choose to see from this fresh lens. Choosing a focal point and then expanding your vision from there. So in the coming weeks, you want to practice what we call full conscious awareness, open awareness. No judgment. Notice when you're judging. See if you can open to being curious about what's going on in your internal world, as well as your external world. And gently note the frustrations, the annoyances, but also note the celebrations, the excitement, and the joy. We take it all in. It's all part of the process of being this spiritual being in human form with feelings, emotions, and thoughts. Remember, fuel our perception, our actions, and subsequently create our reality. Energy flows where our attention goes. And remember, there's more right with you than is wrong with you. You hold the power of choice, always. Just breathe, and we'll close out.
That was very peaceful, Nancy. I could
Great.
actually feel my shoulders drop. Thank you very much.
Sure. Good,
In
good, good.
closing, I want to invite everyone to our next session on May 1st at 11:30 a.m. for 30 minutes. The invite, along with this recording of the session, will be shared with you via email. Again, this is a free series of webinars offered to CSS employees and clients because of your mental health is our #1 priority. Nancy Boudreau, CEO and founder of Awakening with Light, is happy to connect with you each individually if you want additional coaching and guidance with her. We will be sharing her contact information with you. I'm Sharon Sal, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Nancy.